Hello everybody, do you want to know about the school systems in the city of Fairview, Tennessee? I'm Jack LaRon, your Nashville real estate agent, and we're going to talk about the schools as well as some of the facilities the schools have. So right here is Fairview Elementary. It sits right across the highway from the middle school and the high school. As you can see by the sign on the wall, it's been recognized as an outstanding performing school here in the state of Tennessee. It is a Williamson County run school system inside of Fairview. Williamson County is consistently top ranked in the state for the school systems throughout the county, including 3 schools in the top 10 nationally, including 2 in the top 5. The schools are very good with their curriculum, but they're also very secure. Williamson County provides a on-staff sheriff's deputy at each one of the schools. So the first thing somebody sees every morning is a sheriff's car parked here in the front parking lot, as well as additional security to get into the building. And then the resource officer, SRO, walks the hallway armed and gets to know you and your kids throughout the school year. Let's go take a look at the intercom system that you have to access in order to get in the building. And then from there, we're gonna go across the street and check out the high school as well as the combined middle school. Let's go. Okay, so I'm standing at the entrance here to Fairview Elementary. Again, one of 2 elementary schools here in Fairview. The other one is Westwood at the other end of town. You'll need to access the wcs.edu website to see the zoning for wherever you live in Fairview, which school you're zoned for. But as you can see, we're a very secure school here. So, as it says on the door, all visitors must enter through the main office, which is right inside the door here. There's a push button to access the camera, and you've got to state your name and your reason for the visit, which is then recorded. Here's the intercom system that they're referring to. You press the button, you got a camera here. There's a screen, CTV inside the office. The administrator asks who you are, state your name, and do you have your ID. They then buzz you through this door, and you go inside to the lobby. You're not able to access the main hallway because there's another set of locked doors between here and the main school area. The office sits in between. You go in the office, show your ID, state the reason you're there, provide your ID to put into a logbook. They then call to the classroom and your student walks up to the office if you're checking them out, so you're not walking the hallway unannounced during the school period. However, the school does encourage you to come eat lunch with your kids. My children attended here for a year or 2. I was able to come badge in and go eat lunch with my kids. It's an event watching a bunch of first graders and second graders do lunch because the stories they tell, but it is cool to be able to come hang out with your kids for 30 minutes during the day and eat lunch with them. So again, this is the middle school. We're gonna go right across the highway where the combined, this is the elementary school. The combined middle school is on the other side of the highway right next to the high school. We'll go check that out, but all of them have the same security system. So any events that happen in the area, the school locks down, they notify you. But again, an armed resource officer with a car sitting out front to deter. These are hard targets, not soft targets. So we don't have any incidents to date, thank God, of any sort of school incidents. Let's go. Okay, so now we're standing in the front entrance of the Fairview High School parking lot. We just got done with Fairview Elementary right across the street. This is the high school. Fairview High School is the Jackets. And in the student parking lot, there's some nuances if you want to drive your car to school as a student. First of all, you have to submit an application to the county to get a request for a permit to be able to drive your car to school. Secondly, you then have to take a test to qualify for whatever requirements they have for parking your car here. So in other words, the days of going to school, when I went to school, of driving your 4x4 under the bridge and bringing it to school all muddy with your deer rifle in the headache rack are over. You can't even park your car or drive it here unless you've got a permit, and you've got to apply and then qualify for that permit in order to drive your car here to Fairview High School. Something else, so the calendar for Williamson County schools is a little unique. I'm from Texas. They have quite a bit different calendar here for the school year here in Williamson County. So your summer here between the end of school and the beginning of school is about 2 months. So you only get really 8 weeks of school off, okay? So school typically starts the first week of August for a half day, then goes into a full day the following Monday. You have a fall break in the middle of October, which is a full week off. Then you have a Thanksgiving break, and then you go into winter break, which is your Christmas break. You come out of that in the spring in January, then you lead up to spring break, which is a week, usually mid-March, to take off of school. And then the school year typically ends the weekend right before Memorial Day weekend. And typically a lot of your sporting activities for qualifying for football or volleyball or soccer take place in that last week of May and the first week of June before you go into what the county calls your dead period. So the last week of June and the first week of July, there's absolutely no group or team activities. Your coaches cannot have any contact with the students if there's a sporting activity. So you have June into June and the first week of July completely free to yourself, which is typically when everybody goes on vacation, because as soon as you come back from dead period, which is the week right after July 4th, all your mandatory practices start. So cross country, football, volleyball, soccer, they're all into their formal practices during the summer getting ready for the season, because again, the season typically starts the first week of August. So you really only have 3, maybe 4 weeks of team activities with your coaches before you're doing your first set of games or your first set of meets. So again, this is Fairview High School. About 700 students go to this building currently. It's actually built for 1,400. And Fairview High School has a very unique program that's only found here in Fairview High School, funded by the governor for the entire state of Tennessee, and it's called the Mechatronics program. So what that is a 2-year robotics program that students can earn a technical degree or an associate degree while also earning their high school credits, and come right out of high school with a certificate or a degree from Columbia State and go immediately into the job field. Now, another unique thing about Tennessee is your community college is actually paid for. So there's some qualifications, we'll include the links down below, but typically if you're a resident in Tennessee for at least a year and you graduate high school, move right into community college, your first 2 years of school here in the state of Tennessee are covered by the state of Tennessee. So that's a huge cost savings. I have 2 kids here in high school, so think about that going through college at the same time would be quite expensive. I've got another child down in the middle school over here. So the school system here I know very intimately because my kids have been in it since kindergarten, and the facilities here are great. I come from Texas. The school system here is better than where I was at in Texas, and we're going to show the middle school as well as the new football field here as well too. So there's a lot of activities. We'll talk about that in the back as well too, because the amount of athletic activities that the kids get to do here is really unique. And there's one program that Fairview is a part of that only 8 other schools in the area can claim, and it's very unique for girls sports. So let's take a look at the rest of the area. Okay, so right behind me is the Fairview High School Performing Arts Center. The middle school just built a building like this for themselves like 2 years ago. Performing arts is a huge advantage and program here. The kids love it. It's acting, it's singing, it's band. They do a lot of plays during the year that are really well produced. And the kids get to do all aspects of it, whether it's production, the video creation, the editing, stage setup, or the acting, or writing the plays itself. The performing arts programs here for Fairview High School, Fairview Middle School in Williamson County are really good, and the kids get really excited about it, and the productions are great. We get to come see them as parents. It's really, really great production. So it's another great advantage of your kids going to school here. This is something that I wasn't familiar with. I didn't have this when I went back to school in the Stone Ages, but this school actually has an on-site daycare center for students that have children, okay? So as you can see with the signs here behind me, the students are able in the morning to drop off their kids at daycare and to attend their normal class schedule as usual. The services in the daycare center are actually part of a group of electives here at Fairview High School. It's called Children and Family Services Care, and your kids, when they're students, can sign up to this as an elective. They can also sign up to social media classes as an elective. But the students earn class credit for running basically the daycare while their parents are going to school here in the facility. So the child and the mother are under the same roof. The child's getting services, the parents getting their education, but this is a great way the county addressed something that they saw needed some assistance and provided on-site daycare facilities for students that have children. Okay everybody, so this is Jack Laron again, your Nashville real estate agent, and I'm continuing my walkthrough here of the Williamson County school system in Fairview, Tennessee. And as you can see, I'm standing on a hill with the high school and our brand new football field behind me, as well as our softball fields, our baseball fields, our tennis courts, soccer fields, the gym for the football team to lift weights, their practice field, and then also there's a ROTC, junior ROTC workout area, as well as a obstacle course behind that. And then the brand new track that got installed, and then directly in front of me is our middle school, which is the Falcons, and they share the football field with our high school and play their games on it. Also, a little secret to our unknown fact is we have a junior pro football team, which is basically Pop Warner, but they don't call that here. It's ages 5 up to like 12, and on Saturdays they get to play on this field as well too. My son played in that league for 3 years. He won 3 Super Bowls in a row, only lost 1 game, and he scored a ton of touchdowns on this field, even when it was grass before it became turf. Now, I mentioned earlier about a program that's unique to Fairview that only 8 other schools in Williamson County have as well, and that's high school girls flag football. The Tennessee Titans, yes, the NFL football team, donated $300,000 to 9 school districts in Williamson County to start a girls flag football system. We're one of 9 schools that got it. Last year was the inaugural year, so this year they're rolling into year 2. Our high school football coach, who is a nationally recognized flag football player, still plays it in his 50s, is actually the coach for the girls flag football team. In their first year, competing against much bigger schools in Williamson County, our girls came in second at a jamboree that they actually got to play at the Nissan Stadium where the Titans play. So again, another unique program here for Fairview, Williamson County Schools, girls flag football, but we also have volleyball, soccer, tennis, softball, baseball, football, golf. My son is actually on the middle school golf team as well as the middle school football team. They take that very seriously. It's a fun sport. So again, a lot of opportunity for your children to get into activities, to get to know the school administrators, to get to know other families in Fairview. I've met all my family friends through my children's friends. Again, a small knit community, school, activities, church, brand new, again, football field with a brand new track. My daughters last year broke the long-standing middle school 4x400 record in state by 7 seconds, taking the gold medal. A great, great, great win, and actually we're within a second or two of the high school 4x400 record as 8th graders. So they're really jazzed up, looking forward to being even a faster team in high school, and they've got a brand new track to run on for the next 4 years. And something unique too about this. So my daughters are registered in high school. The way their registration works now for their 4-year class schedule, they can actually finish with their high school credits by the time they're juniors. Their senior year, they can take online courses from Columbia State, and they're not required physically to be in the building here to do that because Columbia State does those courses online. And since my daughters won't officially be assigned to a class, they won't have a classroom to go to. So they can sit at home, do 9 hours of community college while they're still earning their college credits as seniors and still participating in the activities. They'll exit high school with a high school diploma as well as 9 hours completed of community college here in Tennessee, which by the way is free with some caveats for residents of Tennessee. Your community college for the first 2 years is taken care of. So again, a lot of uniqueness, a big reason why I moved here, a big reason why my kids go to school here. Really love the community, love the school district even more. All right, everybody, so I'm standing in the front entrance of Fairview Middle School. Again, continuing my city tour with the Williamson County School District here in Fairview, Tennessee. The middle school is actually the feeder school from the elementary schools. Remember, there's 2 elementary schools, Fairview Elementary, which is right across the street from here, and then Westwood, which we're going to check out here in a minute. But when they finish 5th grade, your students will then come here to a combined middle school, the home of the Falcons, and continue their education here from 6th grade through 8th grade. I just had 2 kids that graduated here, are now freshmen in high school. They were cheerleaders for 3 years, part of the track team. I've now got a son in here who's a 6th grader. He's made the middle school football team, and he's also made and qualified for the golf team. So again, the same security systems here. You see the intercom, you've got to check in one door, you're inside the secured area, you're not in the hallways. But again, Fairview Fairview Elementary, Westwood Elementary, come here, go to school from 6th grade to 8th grade, starting about 7:30 in the morning, getting in out about 2:50 in the afternoon. Once they finish 8th grade here, they go across the backside here to the high school, where they continue from 9th to 12th grade. One other great area is their 2nd elementary school. This is Westwood Elementary, right off of Highway 96, which is between Highway 100 and Interstate 40, which Interstate 40, you jump on, go west, you're going to Memphis, jump on, go east, you're 30 minutes going to Nashville. Now, Westwood Elementary School, my kids actually went to school here. A little bit of inside information. They were not zoned for this school when we lived in Fairview. They were actually zoned for Fairview Elementary. Williamson County Schools does give an option for what's called zoning out of a school to attend another one, but there's some parameters around that. The way the process works is, first of all, there has to be classroom availability in the school that your kids want to zone into. Typically, they cap it at 20 additional seats per grade, and it's dependent on if they have the seats available. If they don't have the seats available, you can't transfer over. They so happened to have some availability here when my daughters wanted to go over here. So we zoned out Fairview Elementary for no reason, but just wanted to come to school because they knew more people over on this side. So when we did that, we zoned in over here. That principal at Fairview Elementary had to sign the rezoning request. They had to approve it over here, and then our kids were able to come to school here. Now, the caveat on that is our bus. So our bus was zoned on the route to go to Fairview Elementary, not Westwood, which meant that our kids could not ride the bus to come over here to go to school. So we had to do car rider line, which is a pretty simple process, and Fairview end to end is not hard to get around in, and we kind of lived in the middle. So again, Westwood Elementary, home of the Tigers. My kids love going to school here so much. My daughters are in high school now. They still talk about their teachers here. They see them all the time at all the games and events, and great staff, great parent involvement, and a really great school to bring your kids into. Westwood is zoned for Stevens Valley, which is further down 100 towards Nashville. Again, we're about 30 minutes from Nashville, 25 minutes from Franklin, about 30 minutes to Brentwood. But the kids that are living in Stevens Valley, which I will have a property tour of that, as well as a community tour of Stevens Valley in the link below, please check that out. But this is the school for elementary grade kids that will be coming to school from Stevens Valley into Westwood. And they just opened that up about a year ago, and it increased the enrollment here by like 300 kids total across all the grades. So the ability to zone in here is probably done because they don't have the capacity here anymore to do that, because that new community of houses came online in Stevens Valley. So again, I'm Jack LaRonde, your Nashville, Tennessee real estate agent. Please like, subscribe, call or email me, and let's discuss your move and your investment in the city of Fairview. Thank you.